In a city that loves to honor its firemen, there's nothing as powerful as the Memorial Plaza at World Trade Center. Empty spaces where the towers once stood symbolize the sense of loss brought on by the tragic events of 9/11. Paul Hashagen witnessed the destruction, then, after sorting through rubble, helped rebuild the fire service. You were involved in a disaster event that happened at the World Trade Center, but prior to 9/11,
93,
right?
yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I was off duty when the initial explosion happened. Kevin Shea, who had made this fantastic rope rescue, falls, plummets into the burning basement. And now everybody in my company and Squad 1 came and they worked to try to rescue Kevin. But my guys were shot just from that rescue effort alone. Soaking wet from hoses and everything else. It's freezing cold, it's snowing lightly outside, you know, fun day. I went back later and took a good look at it, and it was eerie because I had never been to something like that before, where once we found out that it was terrorists, like, wow, that's bad. Those years later, the same bad guys come back and they put the planes into the buildings, and I was off for that, but just like the other one, as soon as I saw what was happening, we went back in again, because that's what you do. That changed the world. That changed the world for everybody right there.
How did that event change the way we fight fires?
We lost 343 firefighters that day, but they saved 20,000 people. That's amazing. And they were still fighting the fire and still trying to save even more people when it happened. Yeah. It's horrible, but it's amazing at the same time that they were able to do that. I know there were people that joined the military because of that. There were people that were drawn to the fire service because of that. So the overall effect was not what the bad guys had intended. Sadly, over the years in New York City, we've lost so many firefighters. We always had a level of funeral for our guys. But there were so many funerals and so much to do that we couldn't put a lot of blue uniforms in the street for those families. So firefighters came from across the country to stand for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did it take to recover?
The New York City Fire Department took a major hit. We lost the chief of department, the chief of rescue operations, all these guys with all this experience. You could never recover from it, but you have to go on.
Remembrance is a valuable tool for firefighters who have to face traumatic events on a daily basis. Though traditions vary by firehouse, they can help firemen cope and prepare them for the next emergency.
There's a kitchen table, or a workroom, or a TV room, wherever the gathering point is. When there's downtime, when you're done checking the rig, when you're done cleaning up after the fire, when you're done maintaining the building, that's when you start talking, and that's when you really learn. You start hearing stories about this guy did this and that guy did that at a fire, and you might never be in that circumstance, but the actions that person took might work in your circumstance. We're all just links in a chain, and that chain goes all the way back. But the strength of that chain is the people that care and pay attention to the past to help them figure out what to do in the future.